also, Nati.
Yeah.
I guess Yaakov, if you're listening, and also, this is right now going to live on my Zoom and live on my Facebook, and then I'm also gonna go to my Facebook and share it onto the JSU page. So it's actually going to be on two. I'm do maybe I'll do it to the NCSY page actually. And now we're streaming on.
Lily Marchik
Yeah.
is in.
Hey, Lily.
Hi.
And let's see, share to a page. How much longer should we wait till we begin?
Hi, Sophia.
Hi. I don't think I can stay the whole time because I'm supposed to be having dinner soon, but I figured I'd join.
Who's that?
Lily.
Lily, you can't leave me. I haven't gotten to see you in so long. Don't eat dinner. Who needs dinner? Dinner's overrated.
Oh, yeah.
Latte. Learn. Hey, Sophia. How are you?
Hi, Rabbi.
How are you?
Good.
You sent me that inspiring Rabbi Nissel video, and then I watched his entire Mashiach shir. Did everyone see Rabbi Nissel's Mashiach shir?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, it was great. Who's Kalman? Kalman, Masha. I don't see anybody though, but it's okay. Wait, Sophia, are you in Israel or you're home? I waited for you to put. You're home. Okay. Well, welcome back. It's nice to see you. Okay, I think we're going to get started. This is Midwest Regional Latvian Learning. What I'm going to share you, what I'm going to share with you, because I'm getting mixed up. I said share you because I'm thinking in Facebook and in Zoom. Share you on this and share you and like you. And so what I'm going to share with you.
Did you see who I got here?
What's that?
Did you see who I got here?
No. Oh, Jeremy. I wanted to see him as your background. Lily, you're sideways. Like. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna Yosef Weiss. Shalom Aleichem. I'm gonna leave everyone unmuted unless it gets very discombobulating. But for right now, we'll leave everyone unmuted. If you have any questions, then definitely either raise your hand or ask a question. I think that what I'm going to share with you now, I don't say things on my own. I am a master plagiarizer. You find someone who has amazing things to say and you plagiarize from them, you can never go wrong. So what I'm going to share with you is from the Altar of Slabodka. The Altar of Slabodka, just for my own, let me see. The Altar of Slabodka in my Mesorah is actually my Rebbe's name was Rav Henoch Leibowitz Zatzal. And his Rebbe was Rav David Leibowitz Zatzal, and his Rebbe was the Altar of Slabodka, Rav Nosson C. Finkel. Rav Nosson C. Finkel had many great Talmidim. A lot of the great Rabbanim of the last generation were actually Talmidim. So if you've heard the names like Rav Aaron Kotler, Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky, Rav Hutner, Rav Ruderman, there are more, I'm not going to think of them all offhand right now, but those are some of the great Talmidim. And I think that what I'm going to share with you tonight is a snippet of an underlying theme in Slabodka, and it's related to Pesach also. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear tinkle bells chime like this. Do you guys have those books now? Let's begin now. They had little, you listen to a record while you watch the book Disney gave, and then Tinkerbell would chime and it was time to turn the page. Hi, Sam. Oh, wow. Sam's here also. Okay. I want to point to two psukim in the Torah, two verses in the Torah that are very, very similar. Every day at the end of the Shema, in the third paragraph, we say the words that quoting Hashem, Ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am Hashem your God, Asher Hotzeisi Eschem, that I brought you out, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, from the land of Mitzrayim, Lios Lachem Le'elokim, to be for you for a God, Ani Hashem Elokeichem. I am Hashem your God. There's a very similar pasuk in the Torah, and that is the first pasuk in the Aseres Hadibros. It is very, very jarring to me that I see Jeremy Schechter's name, and then I look up in the corner of my screen, and he's kind of staring at me out of the side of his eye over Sarah's head. I just needed to say that because it was driving me a little crazy. Anyways, the other pasuk that says very similar thing a very similar thing is Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Hashem your God, Asher Hotzeitzicha, which I have brought you out, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, who brought you out from the land of Mitzrayim. I don't remember the pasuk. Nati, help me out. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Hotzeitzicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. Jeremy, help me out. Someone, Rabbi Yaakov, help me out. I'm losing.
Yolachem Elokim.
Yos Lecha Lelokim. I think. Okay, let's just do the first part of the pasuk. Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Hotzeitzicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. Beis Avadim. That's what it was. I took you out from the land of Mitzrayim, from the house of Avadim. Does anyone know a very clear difference between those two psukim? Can anyone tell me if anybody wants to jump in? What's the difference between the last pasuk in Shema and the first pasuk in Aseret HaDibros?
Because one of them said that I took you out from the house of slaves, and one of them said, I just took you out to be your God.
One of them said Elohim.
Is that Anochi Hashem Elokecha Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Hotzeitzicha Mitzrayim? Does it say Yosef Elokim? No, I feel like I have to get a chumash.
The second one said your God, like
No,
said
it
your
doesn't.
God, not
It
just
doesn't say
What do
Elohim.
you not what?
It
The
doesn't
second
say
one
the
said
word.
Elokecha, said your God, not just Elohim.
And the first one doesn't mention Beis Avadim, though.
Well, the other one says
Aseret
Elokechem.
HaDibros does.
You're close. So let me tell you what the difference is. I think some of those other differences are also differences, but I'm thinking of a specific difference, and that is the last pasuk in Shema says Anochi Hashem, Ani Hashem Elokechem. In Hebrew, there's a difference between plural and singular. So the last pasuk in Shema, Hashem is talking to the Jewish people, and he says, Ani Hashem Elokechem, I am your, plural, to the entire Klal Yisrael, your God, Asher Hotzeitzi Eschem, that which I brought you out, plural, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, from the land of Mitzrayim, Lios Lachem Lelokim, to be for you, for a God. Now you know that that's not a fake background. Whereas the first pasuk in the Aseret HaDibros says, Anochi, I am Hashem Elokecha, your God. I am Hashem, your God, Asher Hotzeitzicha, that I took you out, singular. Oh, here's the pasuk. Me'eretz Mitzrayim Beis Avadim, from the land of Mitzrayim Beis Avadim. So the very, very strange difference is that in the Shema, Hashem refers to the Jewish people in the plural sense, and in the first of the Aseret HaDibros, he refers to the Jewish people. He's talking to all the Jewish people, and he uses a singular tense. I have to first say hello to Elena and Hannah. Hi. Anyone else?
Jacob also wants to say hi.
Jacob!
What's up, bro?
Jacob, you're joining us?
What are you saying?
He's not joining
Wow. No, Jacob, you have to stay now. Now that I saw you, you have to stay.
I'm talking.
you. Okay. So Gillis. Okay.
Okay.
I'm putting myself back on.
So has anyone heard this question before? Has anyone noticed this before? In Aseret HaDibros, it's in singular tense, and in the Shema, it's in plural. Which one do you think makes more sense, first of all?
So I've asked the question before. I've seen that. I think the translation in the art scroll is to be a god to you, which sounds totally bizarre. Like what? Like are we just talking about how there's one God? I'm just going to be like, it sounds like one of many. It doesn't seem to make sense.
And which pasuk are you referring to?
Elokecha.
Oh, Anochi Hashem. Well, it's I am Hashem, your God. We're specifically. I'm asking the question of. It's not my question really, but it's the question that I'm specifically focusing on is why is the pasuk in the Aseret HaDibros? Why is it referring to the Jewish people in the singular tense, Asher Hotzeitzicha, which would make more sense if I was talking to one person. If I took you out of latte and learning, so the proper tense would be if it was just me and let's say Rabbi Nati, and I'm referring to Rabbi Nati, I would say Rabbi Nati, I am Rabbi Stam, Asher Hotzeitzicha, who took you singular out of latte and learning. Whereas when I'm talking to a plural, to a mass, to a group, I would say, Asher Hotzeitzi Eschem, I brought you in the plural out. So that's the difference that I'm focusing on now. Why by the Aseret HaDibros, yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't clear. Why by the Aseret HaDibros does Hashem refer to the Jewish people in the singular tense, And why by the end of Shema does he refer to the Jewish people in the way which I would say makes more sense, where makes sense is in the plural sense. I'm referring to the 3 million people who are by Har Sinai. So I talk to them as a group.
Keisha b'lev echad.
So that's an answer that I've heard. And it's interesting, the Alter doesn't say that they were Keisha echad b'lev echad at that point. It could be that Hashem was referring to them in that sense. So there is that concept where the Torah says, Vayichan Sham Yisrael neged ahar, the Jewish people stood there by the mountain. Vayichan is also a singular tense. It describes the Jewish people standing by the mountain as one person. And so Rashi explains that it was Keisha echad b'lev echad. So that's a possible answer. I want to give you another answer that's very good, Sam. I want to give you another answer that the Alter says. Let's go back. Let's go back into Mitzrayim. Okay? I think I'm hearing myself through someone's computer. You know, I'm going to mute everyone, and then I'll. Okay. Oh, now everyone's muted. Okay, perfect. Let's go back into Mitzrayim. The last year of the Jewish people in Mitzrayim, the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah says, "The Rosh Hashanah batla avoda me'avoseinu b'Mitzrayim." By Rosh Hashanah, already the Jewish people were not working. Okay, Rosh Hashanah is the first day of the month of Tishrei. So really, for the next 6 months, there was no avoda going on. It seems like the Makos actually started a year before the Jewish people left. So in Nisan they started, and then in the following Nisan, which is the month we're in now, that's what. But the Gemara talks about the avoda, all the servitude that the Jewish people go totally ended by Rosh Hashanah. So at that point, why did the Jewish people need to be in Mitzrayim anymore? Okay, what was the reason? He explains the reason they had to be there was because they had to rejuvenate their emunah in Hashem, their belief, their trust in Hashem. He says they already were proven to be, when Moshe came the first time to the sages of the Jewish people to introduce himself, he said, Pakod Yifkod Hashem Mizeh. He said these words, that Hashem is going to redeem you from this. Pakod Yifkod were the magic words, and the Jewish people heard that. That's what their fathers had told them, and their fathers before them, their grandparents, all the way back to the Shvatim, that one day someone's going to come and say Pakod Yifkod, and then you're going to be taken out of Mitzrayim back to Israel. So Moshe said those words. And on that verse, Rashi says, because we're ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim, the Jewish people, right? You know the song? Anachnu ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim. What does that mean? We're believers, the children of believers. So we already proven in Mitzrayim that we had this fundamental belief. So what did the Jewish people still need to learn? What was there to gain by being in Mitzrayim when the servitude was over? He makes the question even a little bit bigger. He says that when the Jewish people left, they were told, you better be ready to leave, because on a dime, you have to be masnechem chagurim, you're a gird loin, like your belt tightens, your back, your sack's on your back. At any moment, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to tell you, you're going to sound the alarm, and you got to get out of Mitzrayim. And the Chazal tell us, the Alter doesn't say this, but I think he's referring to this, is that had the Jews stayed in Mitzrayim one more moment, they would have been finished. They would have gone down into the lowest levels of impurity. They wouldn't have been able to get out. So this was a very dangerous game that we're playing. We're keeping the Jewish people in Mitzrayim till the very, very last moment. What was it that they needed to learn? To have to stay there till they teetered on the edge of destruction, that they wouldn't have been able to leave Mitzrayim. Hashem wanted them to be there for so long. What was it that Hashem wanted them to learn? So the Alter says something. I think this to me is one of the most motivating and inspiring thoughts. And I don't think it's just a thought. I think this was, so to speak, the Alter's modus operandi with his Talmidim. And I think this is part of what they say, Lefia ani daiti. In my humble opinion, I think that the reason he had the great students that he had which were some of the greatest rabbis of the last generation, was because he inculcated them with this value. And he says as follows. He said that he wanted them to see all the makos, all the plagues. The pasuk says, "Bavur zos hamadaticha." This is the reason that I have stood you here. Bavur harosas kochi, so that you will see my strength. Ulaman saper shemi b'chol haaretz, and you'll be able to tell over. You'll say my name to all of the world. You'll spread my name. And that yidatem k'ni Hashem. I'm sorry. Even. I'm sorry. So that you'll know very, very clearly how Hashem relates to us and what His strength is. And we needed an extra year to learn this. Specifically, what was it? So when I was in kindergarten and in first grade and all through elementary school, we were told the midrash. And I understood it a specific way. Let me see if you understood it the same way. By the makkah of dam, by the plague of blood, who did it afflict? It only afflicted the Egyptians. And the Torah says, the Midrash says, that when a Jew and a Mitzri, an Egyptian, would drink out of the same cup, so for the Mitzri there was blood in that cup, and for the Jew there was water. And how did I always imagine it? I always imagined it that there was a cup of water. I actually looked it up. I found a project that a teacher gave her preschool class. They took a cup. One side they painted white, and the other side they painted red to show that when the Mitzri, because the Mitzri is drinking out of this side, so everything's blood, and the other half of the cup was water. Says the Alter, that's not the explanation. That's not what the Medrash is saying. What the Medrash is saying is that there were two different realities. The fancy English word here is concurrent. There were two concurrent realities happening at the very same time. The Jew looked at this cup of water, and the creation that was in this cup was water. The Mitzri looked at the very same cup, and the Mitzri had blood. So there were two realities at the very same time. It's because Hashem was teaching the Jewish people. There's a concept, we say it in one of the brachos before Shema every day. There are two brachos that we say before Shema and davening. One of them is the bracha of Yoter Or, and part of that we say is Hamechadesh b'tuvo b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh bereishis. Hashem renews every single day the creation. We take it for granted. You know, we look around our houses here, our friends are there, the trees. Every single day, the creation happens again. The Alter says it happens every moment. We're all being recreated at every single moment. And the reality that is there, and it's not only that Hashem is recreating the world, it's also a concept that the Gemara tells us that Chayev Kol Adam Lomar, every person is obligated to say, Bishvili Nivra Olam, that the world was created for me. How do we know it? Because Hashem created one human being. There was only one human being that Hashem created, the Adam. Why did Hashem create Adam alone? Because He wanted us to know that lesson, that it was worthwhile to create the entire world for one person. And that one person is me. And that one person is you. And Hashem recreates the world at every moment for me. And He does it for you. But what Hashem was teaching the Jewish people by Dam was that my reality, now it has to be that the Jewish person was aware of the Mitzri's reality. So I don't know exactly how this works. It kind of breaks my head open a little bit. But my reality was that it was water, and the Mitzri who was drinking it, his reality was that it was blood. Because Hashem wanted us to understand that my reality has nothing to do with anyone else's. Hashem will run the entire world just for me. The other famous time that we see this is by Choshech, by the plague of darkness. For the Mitzri, it was a thick, tangible darkness. They couldn't move because of it. But the Jews went into their homes or were around the Mitzri, and it was like the sun was shining on them. It wasn't because there was a spotlight. The way I always pictured it was there was a spotlight on the Jew right? And all you saw was a dark area and two eyes from the Mitzri, right? That's not what the Alter says. That's not what happened. It was almost as if the sun was shining specifically for every single Jew. Because Hashem wanted them to know that my reality has nothing to do with that person's reality. And it's not just the Jews and the Mitzri, it's every single Jew has their own reality. Do you understand what this means? How much Hashem loves you, how chashuv you are, how important you are? And Hashem did not want to take the Jews out. It's true, they believed in Hashem. They believed in the power of Hashem. But the message that Hashem gave, the Alter said, was every single makkah, there was this element. That for the Jew, it was one reality. For the Mitzri, it was another reality. And it had nothing to do. It was just me and Hashem. So they leave Mitzrayim. Now they finally got it. Hashem wanted them to get this. It had to be running through their veins. It had to be a part of their being. What happens? They go into the Yam Suf. The sea splits. One of the lines that they say, right, in the Az Yashir, they sing this tremendous song. One of the things that they say is Zeh Keli V'Anvehu. We have the same problem with that pasuk that we had when we said earlier. Zeh Keli means this is my God and I will glorify him. It should say, anyone know? It should say Zeh Elokeinu. This is our God and we will glorify him. The Alter says because the Jewish people right then were displaying, they were pointing. It said, Zeh, this is. They were able to point to say, this Hashem, this is my God. Every single one of them had that feeling at that time, and they were able to express that. Zeh Keli V'Anvehu. And then what happens? They come to Har Sinai, and as Sam said rightfully so, that there was an element that everybody was Kish Echad B'Lev Echad, but there was another element there as well. And I think somehow these two ideas might mesh together. We can talk about that another time if anyone wants to think about that. But Hashem looks at the Jewish people. I once heard it expressed from Rabbi Shaya Cohen. He said, this is the point where Hashem said to the Jewish people, Shalom Aleichem. All those things that happened in Mitzrayim, Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Hotzeisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. I am Hashem, I'm the one who did that. And now he introduced himself. By the way, that's why we say in Kiddush, right? We say that, we say in Kiddush, we say Zeicher L'Tzias Mitzrayim, that it's a remembrance of leaving Egypt. Why does Hashem say, if he's introducing himself, the omnipotent God, why is he saying, Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Hotzeisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim? Here are my credentials. I am God who took you out of Mitzrayim. Why not say, I am Hashem who created heaven and earth? That's my credential. That's why you should listen to me. And the answer is because Hashem was saying you had a experience, and that experience, no one was around by creation. We only know about creation because we have a Masorah from our parents and our grandparents, and the Torah tells us. But Mitzrayim, that we all experienced. That's why the Torah very specifically tells the Jewish people, you have to tell this to your children. We're the only religion. I say this many, many times. If you've been into my JSU clubs, if you've heard me speak, I say this all the time because it's so crucial. I don't know of another religion. I don't think it exists. Another religion who has the same origin story as us, where it's not 1 or 2 or even 10 people. And it's not even about the numbers, but it's every single Jewish person experienced what happened. Every single Jewish person was a Navi. And every single Jewish person, there was 3 million estimate Jewish people standing by Har Sinai who all heard Hashem say to them, Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Hotzeisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. I am Hashem your God who took you out of Mitzrayim. And who was Hashem talking to at that moment? Was he talking to a group of 3 million people? No. Says the Alter, he was talking to 3 million individuals at one time, albeit they were Kish Echad B'Lev Echad. But he says, this is what the Torah is telling us by saying, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. He says that word, I am Hashem, your God. I'm coming to Ilan, sticking out my hand, I'm God, I'm sticking my, Shalom Aleichem Ilan. I am Hashem, your God. and at the same time to Sarah, and at the same time to Maddie, and to Masha, there was all these different, and Hannah and Elena, I'm sorry, and Jeremy, and Rabbi Nati, and Sam, and Yahuda Levi, and Nechama, of course, Yosef Weiss, and Sophia. Did I get everyone? Steve? Who's Steve? David, I didn't get you. I was actually looking for you. I thought you switched position on my computer. And of course, David. But Hashem said to every single one of them individually at the same time, I am Hashem, your God. And every single Jew understood implicitly and with tremendous emunah that everything that happened, every one of those 10 makos that happened in Mitzrayim, and all of the 50 makos that happened by the Yam Suf, was for me individually. And the entire creation was for me by myself. And even though Hashem runs the world and all of our realities seem to be the same reality happening at the same time, because Hashem in his infinite wisdom is able to do that. So it looks like to me, it looks like this is the Midwest NCSY Latte and Learn for me. The entire Midwest NCSY Latte and Learn is for every single one of you individually also. And everything happening. Go outside and look at the trees, look at the sun. It's there, and you have to say, it's not, the Gemara doesn't say it's a nice thing to say. The Gemara says the word chayiv kol adam lomar. Every person is obligated to say, b'shvili nivra olam. And I think that's a tremendous, tremendous message that the Alter tells us is the godless ha'adam, the greatness of every single individual. How much Hashem invests in you, what Hashem holds of you, what he thinks of you, the God of the world, creator of heaven and earth, has done everything in this world just for you. He's also done everything in this world for someone else. And for everyone else, but it's for every single person on their own relationship with Hashem. And the Alter says that's why they had to stay an extra year in Mitzrayim, because they needed to learn this very, very clearly. And that was what came out of it, is that they were able to understand there was a personal relationship between them and Hashem. So I think this is when you sit by the Seder and you talk about the Makos, right? We're supposed to chayev kol adam liros et atzmo ki hu yasem Mitzrayim. Everyone is supposed to. We're obligated. The Seder night is supposed to be it's an educational tool, but we're supposed to look at ourselves as if we left Mitzrayim. It's not just a tradition that we do. There's a lot of depth, and there's the reason that we do it. There are people who take the matzah and they put it inside a sack, and they put it over their shoulder and they walk around the table. There are different customs because we try to reenact. We have to realize that this happened to us, and that everything that happens is for us specifically. I think that if we really, really think about this concept, it will absolutely change our life. It'll change our life and you realize, but it's not easy because we don't really believe it. But the more we think about him, the more we say that Hashem did this for me, Hashem is doing for me. It's just me and Hashem. How much Hashem loves me, the greater our level of connection will be with Hashem. So with that, I hope that this will be something you could take into your Pesach Seder. I hope it's something you could take into your life in general. And I hope that it was somewhat enlightening. If anyone has any questions, you can unmute yourself, or you can put it in the chat. But I really appreciate everyone coming on. And it was really an honor to be able to learn with you all.
Thank you.
Did anyone actually have a latte?
Yeah.
What's that?
Did anyone
I had
actually have a
flake tonight. I
latte?
can't have a latte. I have almond milk. But
I had some tea.
oh,
I also had some tea.
what's the
I was
tea?
gonna go to Starbucks before this and get just like a cup of coffee, but I can't really go outside because I'm in LA and it's like.
Thank you, Rabbi Sam.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Hannah.
Elena.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank
It was good
you.
to see you all. Ah.
Thank you.
I'm going to be the last one out
Toodles.
because I have to be a good host.
So what if people just stay here?
Hey,
pretending
Yosef.
to stay?
Oh, that Yosef Weiss. All the way from New York. How are things in New York, Yosef? You're muted. I can't hear you.
It's okay. It's good.
Yeah? You're in Staten Island? Long Island.
Cedarhurst.
Where? Oh, Cedarhurst.
Cedarhurst.
Same thing. Long Island. All
Yeah.
right.
Of course, nice to always see you. Of
It's
course.
nice to see you as well. Okay, very good.
Of course. Have a good
All right.
week. Chavez.
Take care. Have a good night.
Shkoyach, Rabbi.
Shkoyach to you. Thank you for coming on, Yaakov. It's a big honor. Rabbi Tzvi, is that Rabbi Tzvi Kupfer? Or is that Rabbi Tzvi Taco?
I think
It's me. It's me. I'm just sitting with my child. My video's on, but it's dark. I'm rocking my baby to sleep.
Oh, I
We're
got
being
it.
a little
I think
loud.
we-
I had to keep lowering the volume.
Oh,
Keep waking
sorry.
him up.
It's such
And
an
I'm wearing
exciting piece,
headphones.
isn't it?
Yes,
I
it
can't.
is.
How can you not
Fantastic.
say it quietly? How can you not say it loud?
Well, I'm gonna log off now because Rabbi Greenland has a
Yeah, we have to
national
go on our
call that we must
mandatory.
call into.
I'm scared of this
Probably
call.
to tell us about our Pesach bonus or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, great.
That's it.
See you
All
on
right.
the other side.
Bye bye.
Adios.